Tropical storm Cindy making landfall, lashing the Gulf Coast with up to a foot of rain. Tornadoes and life-threatening flash floods, trapping trucks in water. The storm already blamed for at least one death. The system's destructive path right now.
Also this morning, the big reveal. Senate Republicans finally set to share their plan to replace Obamacare this morning after those secret closed-door talks. And President Trump making news back on the campaign trail and making waves overnight, veering off script, venting. And this comment about who he wants leading his economic team.
I love all people, rich or poor, but in those particular positions, I just don't want a poor person.
An ABC News exclusive. Inside that deadlocked Bill Cosby jury room, one of the jurors speaking out this morning, revealing how close they came to convicting him. Incredible details about those tense deliberations, the moment a juror punched a wall, and the two people holding out, leading to a mistrial.
And George Clooney's magic touch. From Oscar winner to billion-dollar businessman, the new dad of twins hitting the jackpot again, selling his tequila brand, how he's celebrating the windfall this morning.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA.
Good morning, America. And the Clooneys, well, I think they're going to be raising a glass or two sometime today.
I think they could send us a glass or two.
Yeah.
That's right. George Clooney, he said he's celebrating the selling of his tequila company for $1 billion by having some of his own tequila.
I'm glad something good finally happening for George Clooney. As we were talking about that in the newsroom. Anyway, also coming up this morning, we've got a lot of news to get to. We're watching closely, of course, Tropical Storm Cindy. Making landfall just hours ago along the Gulf Coast. Our GMA storm drone is flying over the region right now. You're looking at Wjla, Mississippi this morning.
Area I know oh too well. Our team is spread out across the coast, monitoring the storm from the ground and air. Ginger tracking the system for us. She'll have the latest in a moment. But first, let's go to ABC's Eva Pilgrim. She's on the scene there in Wjla. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Robin. You know, one of the major concerns with the storm was the flooding in this area. You can see from our live drone, there is still water covering the street here. Basically a river running where a road should be. The water surrounding the houses. We talked to some of the homeowners. They were using ATVs and bicycles to get down this street when it was too deep for the cars.
Tropical storm Cindy slamming into the Gulf Coast overnight, winds reaching 15 miles per hour, making landfall near the Texas-Louisiana border and bringing a massive amount of storm surge. Water spouts forming and then coming ashore off Mississippi's coast as waves crash in the Gulf. The big fear this morning, flooding. The governors of Louisiana and Alabama declaring a state of emergency. The areas now under tornado threats. High surf, drenching rains hammering the coastal areas. Cars trying to navigate the flooded streets despite the dangers. Some drivers having to abandon their cars.
No one should be under the belief that this is only going to affect coastal Louisiana.
In Alabama, a 10-year-old boy tragically killed after storm surge tossed this 200-pound log ashore, hitting the child in the head. And in Galveston, Texas, Beach Patrol having to rescue several tourists after their vehicle was stuck on the beach.
And we've been watching this area rise and fall for the last day. It is apparently going to rise again. High tide is not until about 10:30, but they will be closely watching the rivers in this area to see what happens. David?
All right, we're thinking about all those families along the Gulf here this morning.
And that was an area that was hit so hard by Katrina 10 years ago.
The eye came right through there.
They did.
All right, let's turn to ABC's Philip Mena, who's right in the storm zone. He's in Lake Charles, Louisiana for us this morning, where they're already seeing flooding there as well. Good morning, Philip.
David, good morning. Yeah, Cindy made landfall just south of us, but here in Lake Charles, we are in the middle of that circulation, so the storm is all around us. We're already seeing flooding. This lake is flooding this boat dock, so flooding and even possible tornadoes, a major concern today. Some schools and some businesses are closed today because of it, and the governor here in Louisiana already declaring a state of emergency. David?
All right, Philip, thanks to you as well.
All right, now let's go over to Ginger for the latest on Cindy's track as that life-threatening flash flooding moves inland. What do you have for us, Ginger?
And Michael, that is exactly the threat. So inland, meaning all the way to the mid-south, which we'll get to, but we can see the center of Cindy here very clearly along the Louisiana-Texas state line. Now, the eastern bands will still drop flash flood potential, but tornado watches in eastern Louisiana, southern Mississippi, Alabama, even the far western part of the Florida Panhandle. Here's the track. It should die out relatively quickly, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have a lot of moisture with it. It squeezes against a cold front, and that's why western Tennessee, southeastern Arkansas, all the way through western Pennsylvania will see the remnants plus the cold front creating a potential for flash flooding. See those yellows and greens? Up to 6+ inches. Robin, we're going to be tracking this and the extreme heat in just moments.
All right, Ginger, thank you. We're also following a lot of major headlines out of Washington. Senate Republicans are just hours away from revealing a draft of their health care bill after facing scrutiny for drafting it behind closed doors. And it looks like we may finally learn whether or not there are tapes of President Trump's conversations with fired FBI Director James Comey. The White House says there will be an update this week. The president also making headlines overnight at his rally in Iowa, talking about the border wall with Mexico, immigration, and health care. For more on the Republicans' plan to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act, let's go to our congressional correspondent, Mary Bruce, there on Capitol Hill. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Robin. Well, this game of healthcare hide and seek is coming to an end this morning. Senate Republicans are finally going to be unveiling their plan to repeal and replace Obamacare. But after weeks of these closed-door negotiations, it's already being met with some frustration. Overnight, the president set expectations.
I hope we're going to surprise you with a really good plan. You know, I've been talking about a plan with heart. I said, add some money to it.
After weeks of secrecy and protest.
Any of you guys have a copy of the bill?
No.
No? I don't have. I haven't seen it.
Senate Republicans this morning will finally debut their plan to overhaul Obamacare. But already there's frustration on both sides of the aisle.
I haven't seen it. How can I put my support behind it or not support it behind it if I haven't seen it?
In my entire career in politics, I've never heard of a more radical or a more reckless process.
For weeks, the bill has been negotiated behind closed doors. Even some Republicans who are helping write the bill don't know what's in it.
I haven't seen it yet either, even though I've been a member of this working group among Senate Republicans.
Last month, the president celebrated when House Republicans passed their version.
That's the group.
But later, he privately told them the bill was, quote, mean. The Senate version is expected to establish a system of tax credits to help Americans buy insurance and gradually roll back the expansion of Medicaid. But the Washington Post reports it would enact deeper long-term cuts to the program for low-income Americans. Reportedly out of the bill, language restricting federally subsidized health plans from covering abortions. Another point of contention, the timing. Republican leaders are hoping for a vote next week. But with health care for millions of Americans on the line, some Republican members are asking, what's the hurry? Is a week going to be enough time to digest this bill, make an informed decision?
I don't believe so, no. The public needs time to digest it. I need time to digest it. We need to gather genuine input from our constituencies. That's going to take longer than a week.
We shouldn't rush it and to save some arbitrary deadline.
Now, before they can vote, the bill has to be analyzed by the Congressional Budget Office. That's how we'll learn how many Americans could stand to lose their coverage and how this bill might impact your premiums. Now, Republican leaders are hoping that score could come as soon as tomorrow. But, David, of course, any bill that passes here in the Senate then has to go back over to the House to be approved all over again. This health care fight, guys, is far from over.
Not going away anytime soon. Mary, our thanks to you. The president, meanwhile, as you saw in Mary's reporting, in Iowa overnight, his first trip back there since taking office. He spoke for more than an hour, at times veering off script, at times a venting session. I want to bring in our chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl, this morning. John, in many ways, President Trump sounded a lot like candidate Trump all over again, but it was what he said about who he wants to lead his economic team and poor people that's making news this morning.
That are great, brilliant business minds, and that's what we need. That's what we have to have, so the world doesn't take advantages of it. We can't have the world taking advantage of us anymore. And I love all people, rich or poor, but in those particular positions, I just don't want a poor person. Does that make sense?
John, this is a president who campaigned on the forgotten man. What was this all about? Was he planning to say that?
Well, it doesn't appear that it was part of the prepared text, David, but this really isn't all that different from what he said during the campaign. If you remember, he promised to put what he called Wall Street killers in his cabinet. He talked about the fact that they made themselves rich. He would put them to work making the country rich. And if you look at his cabinet, he's followed through on that. This is perhaps the wealthiest cabinet we've ever seen, certainly his economic team.
And John, as you point out, just like he did in the campaign as well, he talked about the wall last night, about Hillary Clinton, crowds chanting, "Lock her up." But there was only this about the Russian investigation consuming much of Washington. Listen to this.
I mean, they have phony witch hunts going against me. They have everything going. And you know what? All we do is win, win, win. We won last night. They can't believe it. They're saying, what is going on? What is going on?
The win last night, he was talking about that Georgia special election. He's calling it a witch hunt, John. It was clear he's much happier being out of Washington all over again.
Yeah, it was the first time since April that we'd seen him in one of these campaign-style rallies, clearly enjoying it. He spoke for more than an hour, and that witch hunt label is now his branding of this investigation. He calls it that over and over again in his tweets, in his speeches. It is a witch hunt. Of course, David, the interesting thing about that so-called witch hunt is in the House and the Senate, it is being led by Republicans. And of course, the special counsel, Robert Mueller, is also a lifelong Republican.
Yeah, that's not going away anytime soon either. John Carl, thanks to you. I want to bring in our chief political analyst, Matt Dowd, a little more on this. The president saying all we do is win, win, win. And really, Matt, in at least one respect, he's right. The special election in Georgia, the most expensive congressional race ever, the Republican winning, president now 4-0. If the Democrats were hoping to capitalize on what's going on in Washington, they haven't yet.
Well, David, as we saw after the November election, I don't think either side is learning the right lessons from these election losses or election wins. First, Democrats are in a position now where they keep claiming that they're playing well and they're getting a lot of hits on this, but they have to start scoring some runs to prove they can win these elections. And I think they need to do two things. They need to figure out the right messenger to deliver the message both nationally and at the candidate level, but they have to have a message that's not personalized towards Donald Trump. They have to have a message that says, why is what Donald Trump is doing bad for Americans, especially economically? The second thing, David, is I think Republicans better figure out to do some course correction. Keep in mind in 2009, when Barack Obama won the election, they had 5 special elections. The Democrats won all 5 of them and then went on to lose the House in 2010.
All right, we'll see if history is repeated. One quick question, Matt, on health care today. Millions of Americans finally learned what's in the Republican senator's plan. Why the secrecy?
Well, you obviously are having secrecy because they think they're doing something that the American public doesn't want. It's as if you walk in your living room and your kids are trying to hide something under the cushion. You know they did something wrong, and I think that's a real problem.
All right, Matt Dowd with us this morning. Thanks so much for your insight. Matt always says it like it is.
He certainly does. Now to those new details about that attacker who stabbed a police officer at an airport in Michigan on Wednesday. The FBI is now investigating it as a possible act of terrorism, and that suspect is in custody. ABC's Alex Perez is on the scene for us there in Flint with new reporting. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Robin. Authorities say the suspect cased the terminal here for about 45 minutes, coming up this escalator and then stopping at a restaurant and then at a bathroom before attacking the officer who was standing right here.
This morning, federal authorities digging into Amor Fatuhi's past as they search for answers after that attack on Lieutenant Jeff Neville at the Bishop International Airport in Flint, Michigan. The FBI saying they are investigating it as a possible act of terrorism.
When the subject went up to the officer and stabbed him, he continued to exclaim Allah, and he made a statement something to the effect of, you have killed people in Syria, Iraq, and Afghanistan, and we are all going to die.
About 9:45 a.m. Wednesday, the calls to 911 start streaming in.
We got an officer down there reports of a stabbing.
Authorities say the suspect exited an airport bathroom with a 12-inch Amazon jungle survivor knife similar to this one and allegedly ambushed Lieutenant Neville from behind, stabbing him in the neck and back.
And there was a whole bunch of blood everywhere. Blood was everywhere, and it was crazy.
Some nearby as the horrifying attack unfolded, jumping in to help the officer.
I helped him knock him down, and I put my foot in his ankle,
and the other one and hold it down.
Passengers and airport employees evacuated. Bomb-sniffing dogs scouring the airport, which was completely shut down for some 7 hours.
The suspect is Canadian and due in court on Wednesday. If convicted, he faces up to 20 years behind bars. David?
Alex, thank you. You mentioned he's Canadian. Authorities overnight searching what's believed to be the suspect's home in Montreal, Canada, as concerns now grow this morning about these kinds of attacks. I want to bring in our senior justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas. And Pierre, what are you learning about this heightened concern here at home, and what really can law enforcement do to stop it?
David, good morning. In recent months, federal authorities have been sending out alerts to local law enforcement, warning that ISIS is pushing these kind of attacks, which a source told me last night are incredibly difficult to detect beforehand, in part because they're so simple. The source reminded me how someone could get a knife or a vehicle without drawing any suspicions. You just need deadly intentions. In recent months, ISIS has stepped up efforts encouraging people following them on social media to attack by any means necessary. So while we don't know yet if this suspect in Flint was inspired by ISIS, there's growing concern that these low-tech attacks that we're seeing happen over and over again are the result of that social media push. There's a sense that these low-tech assaults are now happening almost routinely, David.
All right, Pierre Thomas with us this morning as well. Pierre, thanks so much. I want to turn now to Amy with the other news this morning, starting with a nationwide manhunt.
Yeah, this is a very disturbing story. Authorities are searching now for the owner of an Idaho farmhouse after the bodies of 3 women were found in his shed. Each had been shot in the head. A motive remains a mystery, but police say Gerald Bullinger should be considered armed and dangerous. He recently moved from Utah with his wife, who is also now missing. It's unclear if she is among those victims. New video this morning of an American professor held hostage by the Taliban. Kevin King was kidnapped from the American University in Kabul last summer. This is the first video of him since January. King is heard there pleading for President Trump to negotiate his release. And we are getting our first look at the moment a National Guard pilot ejected from his F-16 fighter jet in Houston. You can see there his parachute. The jet caught fire with missiles on board. An investigation is now underway to determine what caused a series of explosions that happened during takeoff. And then a shocking case of road rage in California. A motorcycle driver kicks a car. You see that. The driver then cuts off the bike. It loses control, hitting the wall and crashing into a truck, causing it to flip over. Woo! And you know what? With all of that video, no serious injuries reported. Incredible. And finally, what are your plans for summer vacation? A new poll finds the #1 thing Americans want to do on their vacations this year is nothing. Nothing. As Robin said, nothing. Just chillax. But we live in the real world. Just 22% say they will be able to completely disconnect from their phones or email. I mean, I don't know if you can completely disconnect from your phones and email. Can you?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's what I love about Robin.
I know. I have no issue
all right,
with that.
Another
Can
thing
you?
to learn from you. No, I definitely. I mean, I actually just spend like one time during the day where I'll check everything, but I can't not check.
Here you go.
Yeah, you got to be able to check something.
Really?
But you know what I got to say? There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
No,
Thank
right?
you.
Right.
Nothing. You
No.
didn't get
Nothing.
that? Oh, they missed it. Oh, boy.
Zero,
You know-
nothing.
But it's some good news. We have an update on Congressman Scalise, who was injured in that baseball shooting last week. And the update is a good one. His condition has now been upgraded to fair. And also, take a look at this from last night at the Capitol Police Officer Crystal Griner, who was hurt protecting lives in that shooting.
Yeah.
And she got a chance to throw out the first pitch of the Congressional Women's Softball game. There she is right there. And our own Mary Bruce played, and Mary Bruce scored the first run.
Yes, she did.
Yes, there you go, Mary. Raising money for a breast cancer charity, and the journalists beat the Congresswomen 2-1.
We need Mary on our GMA softball team that plays on Fridays. That's right. That is wonderful. Let's go back to Ginger now. Wildfires and record heat in the west, Ginger?
Yes, hundreds of homes evacuated in Arizona, and that fire south of Tucson. Bryan Head, Utah, more than 5,000 acres. This thing has tripled in just less than 48 hours. And look how expansive. Southwest Oregon to even Corpus Christi included now, including Colorado in that extreme heat. All right, Stormy Cities now brought to you by Sprint.
Hi, I'm Paul. People ask why I switched to Sprint. Well, their network reliability is within 1% of the big guys, and they have the best price for unlimited among national carriers. And wait, are you watching this on the awesome iPhone 7? You gotta get iPhone 7 from Sprint, and they'll give you a second one on them. What are you doing? Go switch to Sprint.
Who's he talking to?
I don't know, but I'd better go to Sprint.
Wait.
2 iPhone 7s! Love you!
Get Sprint Unlimited. And now, get iPhone 7 and get a second iPhone 7 on us.
Today we have a code orange air quality alert with a high heat, humidity, poor air quality today. So for sensitive groups, the elderly, the very young, asthma, lung issues, try to limit your time outdoors today. Our temperatures will move from the 80s to the lower 90s later, and with clouds, a few clouds, there could be an isolated shower, but easily the hottest day out of the next 10. A change for the weekend, 86 to 83. Rain ends midday Saturday, but tomorrow a soggy morning rush. Next week, mainly in the 80s.